Hey guys, today we're going to do our a tune-up on our John Deere. We have a John Deere 125 lawnmower here. It's the 100 series, so we picked up a it's due for its tune. So we're going to do a little tune-up. We picked up all this stuff here on Amazon. So it was kind of a kit that came together. We bought the oil filter separate, but there's all kinds of different kits. We could put a link in the description for all the stuff that we have. Got our oil here, 10W30, which you can pick up. Your local Walmart or Lowe's if you want. And then for the spark plug, we've got this nice little gear wrench. So we can post all the links for the tools that we are using. But this little kit was nice. It came with a little fuel shutoff valve, and we're actually going to put that in when we replace our fuel filter, because it is pretty nice because the fuel comes in through here, and when you unplug this, you can see fuel in there. It's going to run out. So it would be nice to have a shutoff valve right in between there. So we're going to try and use these snippers. I don't know if they're the right ones for it, but we're going to try it and try and put this in as we replace the fuel filter there. But I think we can start right off with the easy thing. We can go ahead and replace the air filter. So that's really easy. Just going to undo all of these. There's actually two pieces to this air filter. You've got this kind of top part. You can see this one's had some time. It's getting pretty dirty. It's actually not terribly bad, but I mean there's a lot of stuff in there. But these come as a kit, so we just go ahead and just replace everything. And then this guy in here, this actually looks pretty wore out. It's yeah, so it's it's falling apart as it is. So this is past due probably for replacement there. But it's done its job. I mean, basically, you just lay that there. We'll just screw this back on. So that's it there for the air filter. I guess you just need one cut and just put this right in. Put it about right there. One cut. Don't run out as much. But we're going to put this clamp on. Our little kit came with some clamps. So, make sure we got our flow lined up. Secure the clamp. There we go. Gonna be a little fuel in there. Take these old clamps off. We're going to reuse this little section here for our new filter. But you can see that one's pretty dirty, kind of gunked up. I mean, it's still letting fuel flow through, but it's definitely, you can tell, a lot cleaner, this new one. Get our new clamps on. You also want to make sure this has a line too to let you know which way the direction of the fuel flow is. There's an arrow, so again, make sure you've got your arrow lined up the proper way. Again, your fuel is going to go from the tank up this way. So we'll push that on. Push that. And then get our last clamp on here. There we go. There it is. Our fuel's kind of flowing back in there again. So kind of nice. I like that little fuel shutoff thing. But there we go, and we're done with that part. So we can move on to the oil change. All right, now we're going to go ahead and actually change the spark plugs out. So our kit came with these spark plugs. I think John Deere recommends a 0.76 gap or so on these. We've already looked at these before, so they're good to go. So we're going to take the spark plugs, and there are two on the John Deere. So nice little gear wrench spark plug socket. So there's two spark plugs on the John Deere. It's a twin, so there's one on this side, and then there's another one that's going to be on the other side. So we're going to go ahead and pull this one. Very easy to do. Just pull it off. You have the spark plug socket. Wrench, just put that in there. righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. It's actually not too bad. And just reverse. Put the new one back in. You want to make sure you go slow and get that. Make sure it's a really easy screw in. You don't want to be forcing anything because it is very easy to strip these threads in here. So it should move easy and just screw right in. Just get a little snug. One done. You can move on to the other side and do the other spark plug. Alright, so you're going to come on to the other side over here. This is where the second spark plug is. Pop that off. Again. And this socket is so nice. It's got a magnet in there basically, so it'll just hold it. It helps pulling spark plugs out really easy. Snug, don't go real hard, just a little snug. And put your plug back on, you're good to go. That easy. Alright, so we're actually going to replace the oil, or drain the oil first. Don't want to put more oil in. John Deere makes this really easy actually. So down here, you have a little, this is where you drain the oil out. And you don't even really need tools for it. There's a little pin here that kind of locks it. All you do is you twist and then you pull. It pops right off. Put your bucket under there, oil pan. We're just using a bucket with a liner. We'll dump it later, but let that drain out, and this will probably take, it could take, I don't know, up to 5 minutes or so. So there's about 2 quarts in here, so not a lot, but just let that run out. You can see that's pretty dirty, mucky oil. So we'll let that drain. Alright, so that looks like it's very slowly dripping out there. We've had it dripping for a while, so we're going to put the cap back on. Just push it on and twist if I didn't have. There you go, and you just twist it to lock. And then we're going to go on the other side, and we're going to unscrew the oil filter and replace that. And then we're going to be good to refill this back up. Alright, so move to the other side of the engine. This is where your oil filter is going to be. You can take an oil wrench, little rubber wrench or whatever you got to loosen this up, like you would use for the car. This one wasn't on super tight. I mean, really you should just kind of hand snug these anyway. We were able to get some muscle behind it and kind of start loosening this one up ourselves. I'm not exactly sure. I can't remember if this is going to like drain oil everywhere, so we kind of have this ready, this little funnel. I don't know if it's going to capture what we need, but our engine should be pretty drained. But there is going to be, I'm sure, some oil that's inside of this. So we're going to just unscrew this. We've got a funnel here to kind of hopefully catch some stuff, but you might want to put a rag under your lawnmower to catch. But just kind of move quick. And we failed on capturing it, but yeah, there's a little bit, some oil in there, but that's all right. That's why we got our rag down there. So
just a little bit too.
Yeah. Oh, this isn't going to help much with the funnel, so I'm just going to go ahead and move on quick and replace the new filter. Alright, so we have our new filter. You just want to make sure it takes some of the oil and everything. I mean, we're just going to use some of this. This one actually already came with a little bit of oil on it, but we're just going to rub some more on there. It's exactly like replacing it on your car. And then we're just going to screw this one back on. Very easy. And I'm going to take this off if I can. We're just going to hand tighten it. And that's it, and we're good. And we'll just clean this up, and we're good to go. And that's it for our tune-up, at least that we're gonna do for now for this. All right, pretty much our last step here is we gotta, well, basically refill the motor. You don't want to start it off without any oil. So we've got 2 quarts here. It takes anywhere from 1.5 quarts to 2 quarts. So you kind of just, we're going to go ahead and put 1.5 quarts in there and recheck. But your dipstick has an indicator there. You can see now it's empty since we drained it, but there's an add and a full line, and there's 2 notches there. You just want to get the oil in between. So we're just gonna go ahead and put this to the side and start putting our oil in. We know it's going to take at least this full quart. So you can see how clear this oil is compared to the old oil that we took out. So definitely needed an oil change. So there's 1 quart, and we're actually going to save these, and we're going to dump our old oil back into these so we can take them to the recycle center after. So do the right thing. And what we're going to do with the 2nd quart is we're going to pour half of this. What we're going to do with the 2nd quart is we're going to pour half of this in, and we're going to recheck our oil level just to make sure. We don't want to go over. So.
What happens if you go over?
Well, if you go over, could have a little oil leakage or stuff like that. Just, I don't really know. We just try not to go over. So we got about 1.5 quarts in there now. So we're going to take this out, and we're going to just check our oil level real quick. Make sure we're not going over. Screw it in. Let's settle a minute. And you can see we're right at the bottom notch there. Yep, so we're just going to put just a little bit more in. Actually, I think the rest in. Recheck. A little bit over the notch, so I think we're okay to go ahead and put the rest of this. Looks like we'll take the full 2 quarts here, putting this back in. Actually, put all of it in there. Let's recheck it one more time. That was more oil than I thought.
Monkey?
I believe that was a monkey beer. So yeah, we're right there, right underneath the top. So there we are. You can see we're just right under that top notch. So we're good. So there is just a little bit of oil left in the quart. So we're just going to leave that. We don't want to go over. And that's it.
Rolling.
Alright, and we're just going to fire it up.